Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Muse with Ginger Hopper. Let me start off by saying yesterday I got a little fired up. Had to apologize because it sounded like I might have been yelling at you. But then today I was watching my mentor this morning and she did the same thing. She got all fired up, started almost sounding like she wasn't yelling. It was like I was. It was like being very stern and firm. And then she said, I don't mean to sound like I'm yelling. I love you all so much. And if I wasn't being forceful in what I was saying, it just shows my compassion and how much I love you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't give a rip and I wouldn't get excited about it. So I'm going to take back my apology for yesterday because it's okay to get fired up, right? Right. Okay, I don't see anybody on yet, but that's okay. We're going to get into what we were talking about today. And today's topic is fear. How do you get over a fear? You don't. You never get over a fear until you do it. You just do the thing. There's really, like, you can sit there and say, like, I've had a fear of balloons since, weird story, okay? But I had a fear of latex balloons since my oldest child was born. I'm going to call my mom out on this. When I used to babysit and we'd play with balloons, we'd put little, like a scavenger hunt type thing. We'd put these little papers in the balloon. And my mom would always say, when you're babysitting those kids, don't you be popping those balloons by their face. If they're a little piece of that latex, they could inhale that and it get stuck in their windpipe and they could die. They stop their breathing. We'd have balloons out in the backyard and the dogs would be playing with us. And oh, don't, that dog's gonna inhale. Okay, so this went on and on. I heard it my whole life. It never bothered me. I'm like, yeah, right, mom. Okay, like we do with all of our parents. Yeah, right. Until the day my oldest son was born and somebody walked into the hospital room and had balloons. I lost my mind. Like, what are you trying to kill my baby? Why are you bringing balloons in here? He could choke to death and die if one pops, right? So I've had this fear and it built up and built up over the years till recently. Recently, now I still try to avoid them at all costs. I don't like them. I don't want to be around them, especially if they're blown up so big. They look like they're going to pop. But recently, I was thinking about a lot of this and calling myself out on my fear. Because what is fear? What is fear? Fear is a liar. Fear keeps you from doing what it is that will help you move forward. It really is that simple. So if fear is a liar, those balloons are not going to hurt me. And I thought about this a while back, and I walked into the dentist's office a couple months ago for my cleaning. And when I walked in, they called me up to the front and they had this banner up above the window where you check in was all balloons, like this huge banner bouquet of balloons. And I walked up to it and I started losing my breath. And I thought, she says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just deathly afraid of balloons." She said, "Oh, I can come out there." And I said, "No, just give me a minute." And that's when I thought to myself, because I've been working on fear and moving forward and stuff a lot. And I thought to myself, those balloons are secured up there. Even if they fell, they're not going to cut me. They're not going to uh, knock me unconscious. The worst thing that balloon could do is pop and scare me. And when I scare, I could inhale it. So, how can I prevent that? Well, first of all, right now it's mask time, right? So, but I thought, oops, hang on, I got to plug you in. I'm going to lose you. I thought, if I just keep my head down If I do inhale and it pops up here, the pieces are going to be floating down. I'm not going to inhale it. I thought fear is a liar. Fear is keeping me from acting like an adult and walking up and signing in. So I took a deep breath and I walked forward. And I had my head down to talk to her, so in case the balloons fell. And I thought, well, this isn't so bad. Like, unless I look at them, I don't even know they're up there. So I lifted my head. And although I had to pay attention to my breathing, I was totally able to do it. Because fear is a liar. Fear keeps you from doing things. There is no reason to be afraid. We had talked about this before. The only two things you're born being afraid of is a loud noise or falling. Those are the only two fears you're born with. And those are natural fears. The other fears that we have are all learned behaviors. So I have challenged myself. It's been over a year. It's been 2 years now that I challenged myself to go ziplining because I think that would be so much fun. But I am so afraid. And I thought about doing it one day. Of course, it cost so much that I was like, well, okay, I'll wait until I have extra funds because there are priorities in my life that, paying off all my debt, which I've accomplished up until uh something comes up that you have to do. So I'm almost back out of debt again. Um, Meaning credit cards and things like that. Okay. So I thought, well, I can postpone it. But I legitimately have the fear of falling, which is something you're naturally born with. So I'm trying to decide because it is a fear of falling and that one is natural. I'm okay in an airplane. So really the fear is of falling. And is that something that is going to improve my life? Is that something that's going to help me to move forward in something later on in life? Probably not. I mean, I'm pretty sure if it was to save my life that I would take, if Jason was chasing me from Halloween or whatever, I'm pretty sure I would take the zip line over him chasing me. So I think if that comes to head, then I'll zip line. Otherwise, fear of falling is natural and there is nothing that it's keeping me from. If I don't ever zip line, it's not keeping me from anything except for maybe, wow, that was exhilarating. Well, there's plenty of other things I can do with that. So if you have a fear of something that is not keeping you from anything in your life, don't challenge yourself to do it, especially if it's dangerous. I don't know if zip lining is considered dangerous or not, but however, if it is something like a balloon, get over it. It's easier said than done. I'm not sitting here telling you, just do it, get over yourself. That's not it. What I'm telling you is take the time and find out where that fear is coming from and fix it. Right? We want to improve our lives, not sit stagnant, not hover down and hide away because something is fearing us. We want to move forward in our lives, right? So today I'm challenging you. If there's something, if you're afraid to talk to somebody in the grocery line, if you're afraid of driving, um, right? If you're afraid to walk under a railroad bridge, this weekend I challenge you to go do it. Take the step. There are people who are afraid they will not go under an overpass. They won't go under a railroad crossing or a railroad bridge, whatever. There are people that are definitely afraid of those things, and they're legit. They have a fear for a purpose. They were not born with it. There is something that caused that fear to become a part of who they are. And that's okay. But fear is a liar. And God is so much bigger than all your fears. Concentrate on your breathing. Pray through it. And even if you cannot make that fear all the way, if yours is going under an overpass, even if you can't make it all the way through, start with a step. Just take a step under and step back out. Whatever your fear is, this weekend, I challenge you to make one step towards fixing that fear. I love you all so much. Have a fantastic? I didn't know if I was going to say phenomenal or fantastic. Apparently, we're having a fantastic weekend. I love you all so much. I will see you back here Monday morning, probably right around 9:30, okay? Central Time. If you are not getting the notifications when I'm coming live and you want to be a part of these, just go to YouTube, hit subscribe and the bell and mark it. Or if you're on Facebook, check out YouTube, but just hit the notification so you know when I'm on. If you're not a part of Heart's Discernment yet, go ahead and join there. We're going to dig into some new stuff in the guides. Love you all. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.